First of all, I would like to thank Kam for inviting me again for this title, teaching portfolio. All right. So before I start, okay, because this is the second session, meaning that we had one session on developing teaching portfolio. I think last year, it was last year, where I shared on how to develop your teaching portfolio. Let me just ask the participants here, okay, can you raise your hand, okay, who attended the last webinar with me last year on the title developing your teaching portfolio? Let me just stop sharing so that I can see your hand. Can you just raise your hand? One. I think none of you have been in my webinar last time, yeah? All right. So meaning that I have to refresh a little bit on the developing your teaching portfolio so that you will actually know what is teaching portfolio. All right. I'm just going because today the title given was updating online teaching portfolio. So however, because most of you were not here, maybe I just share with you all what is teaching portfolio and so on, and why you need to develop your teaching portfolio, yeah? All right, so let me just share my screen again. Okay, so let us start with, okay. This is a question to everybody, okay? So I would like you all to ponder what was the greatest achievement in your life, okay, in your life, dalam hidup anda, or in your academic life. All right, I would like you to scan the QR code, or let me just go to, you can scan here, all right? Or you can use your phone and go to www.menti.com and use the code 50405896. All right, so let me just open the PowerPoint again. So if you would like to scan, all right, scan here, and then you will go to a page on menti.com. All right, menti.com, and then just answer the question. What was the greatest achievement in your life? Okay, meaning that it is just general achievement that you think you have achieved in your life, or you would like to highlight the greatest achievement that you have in your academic life. All right, if you would like to go to use the menti.com and use the code 50405896, okay, and think of what was the greatest achievement in your life or your academic life. Right, so we have like 14 just now. Okay, okay, 19. All right, so I'm expecting around 16, 17 achievement stated here. All right, so just think of, just go down, publication. All right, maybe you have published. Okay, what types of publication? All right, then we have just joined academia line 1st March 2022. Congratulations. So you are new to the academics life. All right, so this is can I know who you are? Can do you like to just maybe put your name in the chat box? Kalau tak malu lah, tapi boleh je. It is, you know, I would like to know who you are, so that, you know, we can congratulate you for your, okay, Dr. Bernard. All right, so you are the one who just joined academics line on the 1st March. So just 9 days ago. All right, so before this, you did your PhD, Dr. Bernard? Or did you, do you come from industry?
Hello?
Yes, yes, you can unmute if you like.
Yeah. I just joined academic line last 1st March, and previously I working with Department of Agriculture in Putrajaya for 11 years.
All
And
right.
then I did my PhD in UPM and last 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you apply for UNIMAS, and then you are coming back to your hometown, maybe?
Yeah, that's the bigger
Yeah.
factor.
Yes, yeah. Okay, understand. Okay, congratulations, yeah, Dr. Bennett.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, and then produce teachers, yeah, who are one of the greatest achievement that one of you have in here is produce teachers who are now serving in various educational institutions. Okay, so yes, this is one of, meaning that one day your students who are now teachers come and see you and say, okay, I'm teaching here in this school or this institution, and I have, I'm enjoying my work as a teacher. Yes, this is one of our greatest achievement, yeah, because I'm teaching pre-service teachers too, so I understand that. Okay, and then right, receiving a special award for my team KTP project. Is it knowledge transfer project? Yeah, by external agency. Yeah, okay. This is one of the achievements. So 4 of you, anybody else? Just 4 of you are sharing your greatest achievement. Don't worry. All right. Our achievement might be different from one to another. All right. And then in different contexts. Okay. For example, if like a person, they are struggling with publication before this. Okay. Having to publish is one of the greatest achievement, because I think one of my colleague in USM, yeah, she really likes to teach, meaning that she is a teaching person, but we in USM, we are a research university whereby publication is the main thing. Okay, publication grants is the main thing in USM. So what happened was when she first published, yeah, after her in the Scopus Journal, after her 11 years of working in USM. Before this, she likes to write, but she write in books, for books, writing books, but she less write in Scopus, and she never had a Scopus journal published. Okay, just the normal publication conference and so on. But when she got that publication, she was really happy that she achieved something. Okay, after so many years of serving USM. So yeah, so this is actually one of the achievement in your life. Why I'm asking this as the first question in my training today, because I think each individual have different contexts of achievement. Okay, we have different contexts of achievement, and this achievement need to be highlighted in your teaching portfolio. All right, this need to be highlighted in teaching portfolio. I think Dr. Bennett, you by attending this webinar, actually this is a good start for you, because you just joined the academic life for 9 days. Okay, before this you have been working somewhere which is not teaching, not include, and you're doing academic activities, academic related activities. So this webinar should be able to actually help you to develop your growth in your academic life. Okay, so maybe let me just highlight what is my greatest achievement. Yeah. Okay, so I got the Anugerah Akademik Negara Teaching Award in 2017. All right, so that was the highest, I think, award in Malaysia for an academics in teaching. Yeah, but I don't think that was the greatest achievement in my academic life. Okay, that was, although I got 50K, okay, RM 50K for that particular event, and then it is like I was recognized as the best teacher in 2017. It was actually 2016, yeah, because the Anugerah Akademik Negara in 2016 was postponed until 2017. So that was supposed to be the greatest achievement in my academic life. But for me, it was not. All right, it was not, because there was an event whereby the greatest achievement is more than, the money itself. Okay, and it was more than the, the sijil, the going up on the stage, and you receive it from the minister. No, that was not actually the greatest, my greatest achievement in the academic life. The greatest achievement for me was that we had this convocation for our first program persiswasan guru for the first cohort in 2016. Okay, uh, it was held in UPSI, Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris, whereby during that particular event, our PPG program was a franchise program, with UPSI. So our convocation was in UPSI, whereby UPSI gave us a session. Okay, was satu sidang in their convocation for USM PPG program, and then we had to actually brought our lecturers, 2 buses of our lecturers from USM to attend that particular event. We had the first cohort, like it was around thousand students, 1,000 graduates for that particular session. So that's why UPSI gave us one cohort, one session, one sidang for the PPG, because we got 1,000 of students, okay, graduation that day. So what happened in UPSI, our convocation is slightly different. In USM, all the academics will sit together with the graduates, compared to in UPSI, all the academics need to go and sit on the stage together with the Senate members, with the Pro-Chancellor, and so on. All right, so at that time, I was given the task to replace my dean, because my dean was in German, I think, at that time. So I was the coordinator, so I had to sit together with all the LGU and Senate members of UPSI. Okay, so I sit on at the front, okay, the barisan ke depan sekali lah. Okay, so when I was sitting, one of the students were selected to give speech. One of the graduates was selected to give speech on that particular event. So what happened was, when the student said, all right, the wakil, the student representative said, okay, we would like to say thank you to the Vice Chancellor of USM and UPSI, and we like to say thank you to the Dean, and so on. And then after that, he mentioned, and we also would like to say thanks to our PPG coordinator, Dr. Azidah Abu Ziden. All right. And then when he mentioned my name, what happened was, all the graduates here in that big hall all stand up. All right, all stand up and clap their hand. So the whole day one, the whole graduation, the convocation hall was really like havoc with all the claps, and then they were looking at me and so on. And I was like very shocked. And all the LGU members beside me was asking, who is this Dr. Azidah? I am just a normal lecturer. Okay, but I sat there because I represent my dean. Otherwise, I should be, at the front, at the back of their rows. Okay. So, and it was never happened in their graduation hall that all the graduates, okay, around 1,000 students stood up and then clapped their hands. All right, and then they were curious. All the LGU members were curious. All the Senate members were curious. who is this person that, everybody in the hall knew her, all right? So because when the student representative said, we would like to thank to the dean, the VC, and so on, nobody clapped their hand. But when he mentioned my name, everybody was clapping their hands. So I was so shocked, and I was like, wow, this is so, unbelievable. I almost cried on the stage because, I was really happy, but sangat-sangat terharu lah. And then I think that is the most greatest achievement that I had in my entire academic life. Why? Because I think the appreciation, the recognition from my students, my ex-students, and they were from all over Malaysia, and they were learning online. Yeah, we had only 5 meetings. Okay, 5 meetings first semester for that cohort. And then I have to travel from Penang to Sabah to Sarawak. We had our classes in Akademi Binaan Malaysia, okay, in Kuching. And then we rented their academic blocks for our students. And then I traveled to UMS, I traveled to Kota Baru, and so on. So everybody in all those pusat pembelajaran knew me. And then I think that was my greatest achievement. Why I'm telling you all this? Because, when you have one achievement that you could not forget, and then one achievement that really meaningful to your life, you should put it in your portfolio. All right. So it shouldn't be left out. All right. So meaning that if you your achievement is related to publication, then you might want to explain what types of publication. Why do you think this publication is meaningful to you? Okay, and how it shows you what types of academician that you are. All right, that is the most important thing, because from that greatest achievement, okay, you might want to tell people on what were the challenges before you achieve to that particular achievement. All right, for me, before I got all the claps from the graduates at that time, I was like struggling with all the students. We had so many students, and I was the only coordinator for all our teaching center. And I had to travel every week to all over Malaysia. Okay, I was struggling, but when everybody know me and they appreciate my effort, then it was a great achievement. Okay, so that is something that you might consider putting in your portfolio. Yeah. All right. So this is me. All right. This is me. And these images presented me as an educator. All right. So I, as mentioned by Dr. Dayang just now, I have a PhD in instructional design. So I use a lot of technology, but I teach pre-service and in-service teachers. Okay, they are teacher to be, and I introduce many apps and tools, social media, and so on to my students so that they will be able to use it for their teaching. All right, to support their teaching and learning. So I think in USM, I use a Facebook, yeah, for education since because I had Facebook since my PhD. I did my PhD in 2003, 2004. I graduated in 2008. All right, and then I came back to USM. All right. So 2009, I had my Facebook 2007 while I was doing my PhD. So when I got back to USM, I used Facebook. At that time, in 2009, Facebook has had a lot of games. All right. They had this Geo challenge. They had this Pet Society, and so on. So I use a lot of Facebook games to actually introduce it to my students. Most of my students at that time, they haven't got Facebook yet. Okay, and even at one time, USM, they block Facebook, yeah, in USM. I think it was in 2010, and I had difficulties in doing my project with my student because they thought Facebook is not good. So but you know, I think at that time Facebook was good for teaching and learning. I introduces it to my students, and then they use it, all the games and so on, for their teaching plan and so on. But now I'm not using Facebook for my class anymore lah. Okay, but this was what I did, and from this one image, it shows what am I, who am I, and what I do. All right. So in a teaching portfolio, it should shows you what you do, who are you, and what are you doing in your academic life. All right. So if you have any question, please do unmute your mic, or if you would like to ask question in the chat box, please feel free to do so. Yeah. Okay. So the goal of this webinar, yeah, because I had done the first session, so I would like to refresh on what is a teaching portfolio. Although I think there most of you are not being introduced to a teaching portfolio yet, because you did not, or you might have, but because I'm just going to go through briefly about the teaching portfolio. So if you have any question, please do ask me. Yeah? All right, and then your progress on your teaching portfolio, if you have one, and then updating your teaching portfolio. So it is about teaching portfolio and how teaching portfolio can help you to build your, what I call, persona, okay, in your academic life. All right. So last webinar, I used this Google site for my webinar. So let's say, let me just share with you also, that for those who had never seen this. All right. Let me just go to my browser. Okay, and then. All right. So I use this particular Google site for our last webinar, yeah. All right. So the title is Developing Academic Portfolio, or it can be also Developing Teaching Portfolio. All right. What is the difference between academic portfolio or teaching portfolio? In the academic portfolio, you can include anything, okay, related to your academic life. You can include your research, okay, your grants, what you do in your grants, what grants that you have, okay, what are your publications, okay, and what conferences that you have attended. You can include everything that you have in your academic portfolio. In teaching portfolio, you might want to focus on only your teaching related materials, but it can also go beyond the teaching, whatever you teach, okay, but maybe not too much on research. You can include it, the research that related to what you do in your classroom. Okay, so you can choose actually whether you would like to go beyond teaching portfolio and do an academic portfolio, or you just would like to do a teaching portfolio. It's up to you. All right. So here, under here, if you haven't attended my, not here. All right. So so to know more about me, you can read here. Then you can go to the introduction. Click on the introduction. Let me just all right. So what is a portfolio? Yeah. Okay, so you can have a look at the slide in the Google site, all right, because I have a different slide here. Okay, this is a different slide. Okay, but you can have a look in this one. Okay, I'm just going to go through a little bit on this one, but and go on focusing on what we are going to do today. All right, so what is a teaching portfolio? Yeah. All right. So for those who don't know what is a teaching portfolio or an academic portfolio, when you first become an academics, okay, in the university or in other institution, okay, it is good for you to document, okay, to document what you have, all right, from a variety of sources, and then provide context for that evidence. Meaning that from the first day, okay, if you are a good writer of, if you would like to macam last masa kita sekolah-sekolah dululah, I like to write a diary. Okay, perempuan selalu macam tu ya. Girls, they like to write a diary, and then you know that when I was small, we have that diary yang boleh kunci lagi, takut orang baca. Okay, semua curahan perasaan all you put in there. Teaching portfolio is something like that, but now we have an online teaching portfolio whereby we want our portfolio to be read by others. All right, to be shared with others, and we are going to document whatever evidence of our teaching, all right, from a variety of sources. Your first day in UNIMAS, what did you do in your first day in UNIMAS? I think Bernard is the most apa orang kata lucky one, because he is just 9 days in UNIMAS. So you can still remember what you did on your first day. Maybe you came to UNIMAS, and then you daftar and whatever, you met your dean and so on. All right, so that needs to be documented. Maybe you have some, you know, welcoming whatever from your faculty and so on. All right, and then provide context for that evidence. So meaning that maybe you took a selfie with your new colleague, for example. So this is, then you write a little bit about that photo. Okay, this is my first day in UNIMAS. Okay, this is my new dean. All right, this is my new office with nothing. All right, maybe empty tables, empty shelves, and so on. All right, so that was your first day in UNIMAS. Then what did you do after that? All right, for those who have been working as an academics, for example, 5 years, from the first day you become an academic, what did you do? Okay, what were your struggles from the first day you had been an academics and until now, your 5th year, for example? Okay, so you are going to document it, all right, especially in terms of your teaching. Why teaching? Because that is one of the important part in our 5 baskets. We have 5 baskets in our academic life, 5 major baskets. Okay, now we have like, although the formal one is 5 basket, but we actually have more than that. All right, we have teaching and learning, we have research, okay, we have our consultancy, we have service to university, we have service to community, and so on. All right, so all that need to be documented. And then after we keep all our documents together and so on, then we have to select, all right, and organize material. All right, remember, yeah, let me just go back to, I think I put it here somewhere. So what should be included in the portfolio? What should be included in the portfolio? This is what you should do first. All right, So save everything you have. Okay, whatever you have. For example, your surat lantikan, appointment letters. If you have sijil, certificates on whatever achievement that you have, all right, and you don't know what to do yet, just keep it, all right, and then you can decide later what you would like to include in your teaching portfolio. All right. So please remember, there is not one perfect way to do a portfolio. I've forgotten to share with you all. You can go to www.azidah.com. All right. This is my website. All right. So you can go to, okay, this is, I just updated my profile here. Okay. But this is only something like resume. This is one part of a portfolio, but this is my Anugerah Akademik Negara portfolio. For those who never see this, you can click at this image. All right, let me just share this to the chat box. All right. For those who have never seen a portfolio, you can go here, look at the chat box. I posted the link, and then you can click here. All right, and then this is my portfolio that I share with everybody. Yeah? Okay, this is the portfolio that I sent in 2016. So it is quite old, but it is still relevant lah. Okay, so what is inside a portfolio? All right, so this is the content. All right, what I have in my content, in my portfolio. All right, so my VC, but because this is a formal portfolio for AAN, so that's why I have this VC kata-kata pengantar from the VC lah. But if it is just your portfolio, you don't have to look for your dean or whoever lah. Just this is because this is a formal portfolio. All right, I have an introduction to me. Who am I? All right, and then I put a quote here. I don't teach my students. I provide circumstances in which they can learn. All right, so I put a quote here. All right, and then I put here, all right, like a pantun quote. All right, and then I describe about this portfolio. This portfolio ini adalah refleksi saya. This portfolio is a reflection about my journey in the education field. All right, so this portfolio, I developed this portfolio untuk membantu saya, to help me to understand, to document, to evaluate, and to enhance my teaching and learning and teaching. Okay, which happen every day in my life. So these are what I wrote in my portfolio at the beginning of the at the front page, earlier page of my portfolio. And then this is about me, right? So you can see that I put some quotes, all right? Some quotes, because I like quotes so much, so I put some quotes in my portfolio. So life isn't about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself. So that is when I write this, I try to reflect about myself as an academic. All right, so I like to create something. I like to do intervention in my class. Okay, I like my class to be different from one class to the other. I don't usually do the same thing in my class. Okay, so it is a very dynamic class. You can see here, this was in my portfolio, all right, in 2016. All right, so you can see that not much, even, you know, now we don't have where is story 5? Okay, there are some of these particular story 5 here. Story 5 doesn't exist anymore. Okay, it is not here anymore lah. Dah tak ada dah. All right. So and then when you compare this photo with this photo, you can see that there are much more. Okay, it becomes bigger and bigger. Many and, you know, more and more apps that I have used lah. Okay. So, and then this is about me. So you can see here why I'm showing you this, because this shows how I grow as an academics, yeah. And then under this page here, cinta terhadap ilmu, I mentioned that I did not start teaching when I become a former lecturer lah, okay, whereby I mentioned in here that I become an educator as early as when I was 12 years old. Okay, so my mom was a guru, okay, mengajar Al-Quran in our kawasan perumahan and so on. So I help her. So I put it in my portfolio. So you might not want to start your portfolio with just your current experience. Okay. Maybe you, sorry, Dr. Bernard, I just mentioned you because, I think you are a good example for this session. For example, Dr. Bernard has been working in an industry, okay, in Putrajaya, maybe Kementerian, before embarking on the journey of an academic, yeah. So you might not want to start your portfolio straight away when you come into UNIMAS. Okay, because your experience in the industry might be relevant to what you are doing now in the academics. All right, because you are doing something in agriculture, for example. So you might want to include that, how that particular experience, okay, in the industry relate to what you are doing now, how it can assist you to grow in UNIMAS. Okay, so that's why I have this page in my portfolio, because I need to go back a little bit to show why I become an educator, why it is meaningful to me to be an educator. It is not, something that I plan, but it just come to me. Okay, like my mom, she was teaching so many children at that time, and she told me, okay, can you help me with the younger children? Okay, you can help with the younger children. And then actually it helped me also to learn more and more how to cater younger children than me. I was 12 years old, so I was teaching like children who were standard 1, 7, 8 years old, okay, or 6 years old. And I think that was a very good experience when they go from one surah, okay, one surah to another, they go and they can read more and more. I was really happy, although I was just 12 years old at that time. So bring whatever you have prior to your academic life, okay, maybe during your PhD. We can see that we might have struggled during our PhD. So why not you just go and reflect back what you did in your PhD and how it contributes to your life as an academic. All right, maybe people have different journey during their PhD. Yeah? Some of us, they really excel in their PhD, GOT in 3 years. Okay, easy path. But some of us might took like 6 to 7 years to finish their PhD because we have more challenges. So you might want to add that in your portfolio. Yeah. All right. So I include, yeah. Before I served USM, I was a lecturer in one of the polytechnic in Johor Bahru. Okay, at that time, that was the only polytechnic lah in Johor Bahru. Now they had 2 or 3, I think. All right, so this was the website for Jabatan Reka Bentuk. So after my master, yeah, in UTM, then I served Kementerian Pendidikan as a lecturer in Polytechnic Johor Bahru. Okay, so during my time when I was trying to do this portfolio, it was in 2015. When I start doing portfolio, because I attended a portfolio jugalah, a portfolio training in USM, and then I was asked by by USM to apply for this Anugerah Akademik Negara, but I haven't got any portfolio, and I was struggling in terms of collecting all the data. Okay, mana nak cari, because after I did my master and I served Polytechnic Johor Bahru for 3.5 years, then I continue further my study for my PhD in New Zealand. All right, so only 3.5 years in Polytechnic. So what happened when I moved to New Zealand? All right, all my things were in I sent it back to my hometown lah, in my late parents' house lah. So my late parents were old lah, dah tua pada waktu itu. So I just brought back whatever I have and then keep it in my parents' house. So before I went to New Zealand in late 2003 lah, I started in 2004, and then my late father, he passed away. So a few days, I think like one week before I go to New Zealand. So then my mom was alone. Then my sister took my mom and to live with her in Klang. So nobody stayed in my late parents' house lah. So all my barang-barang, all my things were there in Pahang. Yeah, my late parents' house was in Pahang. So when I got back in 2008, all right. So there's nobody live in that house, and then all the barang-barang dah jadi dimakan anak-anak and so on. So when I tried to do my portfolio in 2015, I have less less photos. Okay, and zaman-zaman tu pun memang we don't take photo too much lah, because you have to go and develop the photos in the kedai kan. So not too many photos. And to prove that I have been working, because I would like to start my portfolio since my first teaching in Polytechnic. So I have to have evidence. I had to have evidence. So this is one of the photo that I found in one of the boxes. Ada yang dah kena makan anak-anak and so on, dah musnah. So but this one is good. This is a Polaroid photo that one of the students took in this is my working space, all right, in Polytechnic, all right. And then you can see my face, I was not smiling, okay, less smile, okay, this was my students, all right. So this was the only photo that I had to be included in my portfolio. But in my portfolio, I mentioned that during my Polytechnic time, 3.5 years, I was a very stringent lecturer. Okay, all the students were so scared of me. They even called me Nenek Kebayan. All right, Puan Azidah is Nenek Kebayan because she was so garang. Okay, and then, because I thought graphic design are always, if their artwork was not up to my standard, I can koyakkan all the kertas-kertas yang dia buat, kerja yang mereka buat, I can throw it away and so on. All right, so they were really scared of me lah. Even this student, this student, he is now Cikgu Rahim. He is the Cikgu Rahim Haji Aziz, he is now a teacher, although I taught graphic design at that time. So he was a teacher in Penang, and his school is just outside USM. But although he knew that I am teaching in USM, and he kept on mentioning that I would like to meet you, but when I asked him, Rahim, don't you want to come to USM and we have some coffee or what? He said to me, frankly speaking, Dr. Azidah, I'm sorry. I'm still scared of you and I can't imagine going to have coffee with you. So that's how I was really stringent lah during my Polytechnic time. So what I did was, when I got this photo, one of the evidence, when I was in Polytechnic, so I put it in Facebook. Okay, I put it in Facebook. I was not expecting anything lah sebenarnya, but just a memory. So I put it in Facebook. Then when I put this in Facebook, everybody, my ex-student were commenting in the Facebook. So the Cikgu Rahim said, thank you Prof, guru yang baik adalah guru yang garang. Okay, so that is a proof that I was garang. So in my portfolio, also I highlighted that I used to be a very garang, stringent lecturer. And then Aisyah Saad, she was a lecturer in USM, like now she is in UITM. She was she said takut dengar. Okay, Eddie Jamal also my ex-students, their classmates. So he said gambar dia tak ada ke, and then alright. And then Badrul Dawud used to be my lecturer. So he said, ingatkan saya je yang garang, rupanya menurun. So it goes to me. Okay, and then Nur Hafizatul Sarah, also my student, she said, Dr. Azidah Abu Zili memang garang, saya takut. And then Hakim, this is Hakim, he said, Puan garang, kami jadi cemerlang. Okay, and then Suhaila saying that masih terbayang-bayang artwork yang dikoyak. So this one I include in my portfolio because I did not have evidences lah for what I did in Polytechnic. Yeah, I have less evidence, so I put this here, and this become an evidence because I would like to put in my falsafah pengajaran, my teaching philosophy, that I was a behaviorist. There is a theory, kalau ada orang education di sini ya, you should know, okay, biasanya people who are in education, faculty of education, we learn about teaching philosophy, alright, learning theory, whereby we have behaviorists, we have cognitivists, we have constructivists, and then we have connectivists. So a behaviorist person, they believe that when people are stimulated, okay, dirangsang, okay, to learn, then they will give a response. Okay, meaning that, you know, as a garang teacher, as a stringent teacher, I need to give them stimulus, negative stimulus. I koyakkan mereka punya kertas. I was very stringent. If you submit your work at later than the time given, okay, I'm not going to accept. I'm going to throw it away. So I was like that, yeah, in Polytechnic. So I was really a behaviorist lecturer. And then what happened when I was a very behaviorist teacher, I give a negative stimulus, but the students are all achieve, yeah, they will all achieve the learning outcomes, all right, from those who did not know how to draw, they knew how to draw, and then their results was good, and so on. So being a behaviorist teacher helped me to become an effective teacher, yeah, although I was stringent and so on. I can see the growth in my students, all right. And then after I continue my study, my PhD study in New Zealand, then I was thinking why I should be so stringent, okay, and I was being hated by my students. They hate me so much, okay, and then my penilaian khusus, final semester assessment, teaching assessment, I got so many negative feedbacks from my students, all right. And then after I finished my PhD, I learned about this theory and so on. Then I think I changed my behaviorist learning towards constructivist. So I give experience to my students. So these are my teaching philosophy, ya, yang becoming the main thing, the main support, okay, for my teaching at the moment. Okay, so let's just go to my strategy and so on. So these are some of the what I do, right, in my portfolio. And for example, this is my intervention, yeah, in 2011. Okay, so I mentioned in my portfolio, you can see that in the portfolio, I write a lot. I do narration. Okay, I tell people what I do. So in your teaching portfolio, you should also do that. All right. Some people tell me, because I've been giving this teaching portfolio webinar and or training so many times already. So people always ask me, okay, I am from engineering. Okay, I don't really like to write this much. And engineering people, we are a very concrete people, whereby we just put simple, you know, sentences. We don't elaborate so much and so on. It's okay. For me, it is okay. But for example, I have this here. I have this image here. The title is M-Learning Maxis, and then this one. This is what I did. This is also my research, but my research I transform it into my class. Okay, so when I did this, these are at that time, 2011, we don't have WhatsApp yet. Okay, we don't use e-learning Moodle so much. So I tried to do intervention. I got a grant. I think it was like 140,000 something lah. Okay, and then I bought servers, 4 servers, one for Maxis, one for DG, one for Celcom. All right, and then students can do quizzes. Okay, they do quizzes. They send and code to this number, M-Learning Maxis. This is a number, and then they will get the soalan, the question, and then they will answer. Okay, when they answer at the end, they will get quiz completed into 227 seconds, and then correct answer 4 out of 5. So this was an intervention that I did in 2011. So this was long time ago, not valid already, but this was the process of me doing intervention in my class. All right, because if I just put this image in the portfolio, people would know what is the image is meaningful, not meaningful. All right, so meaning that if I just put, so I need to put some caption, some indication, some story or about this. Okay, so that people will know the context of what is this and then what happened in here. So this was the story that I put for this particular page. So if let's say you are not into writing and so on, you might want to put it in meaning that you might want to put in point forms, for example. All right, first student do this and then do that and so on, and don't do similar like me. All right, because I like to write, so I put a very extensive explanation on what I do. Yes, you can see a lot of this one. Kahoot, I use Kahoot as early as 2012. All right, and then my Padlet. All right, this is Kahoot, and then this is the award that I got. All right, in 2011. All right, that's quiz SMS just now. Okay, so and this is Padlet. I've been using Padlet for so many times, and this is Storyfy. Storyfy now, no more Storyfy. It is already obsolete, but it is in my portfolio. All right, so now I'm not using Storyfy because it is not there anymore, but I have this in my portfolio for me to remember what I have done. Okay, so this is an example, yeah. Example for what I did. Even screenshot of WhatsApp I include in my portfolio. All right, and then how I supervise my students. All right, so these students, my first PhD student. All right, so Juan, then I got GOT, graduate on time incentive, 5,000 at the moment because she graduated on time. And then how I did my supervision of students, it is still under teaching portfolio. This is the syllabi, all right, what I taught and so on. Just keep all the syllabus. When I did this, I didn't know because, when I first start teaching, I did not know that I have to keep this all together and then I can use it in my portfolio. But now we are quite lucky because, for MQA, we have our file khusus. We have to prepare our course file. Okay, and then for this pandemic 2020, 2021, all the audits is being done online. So all we have in a folder, online folder, so it won't be that hard. Okay, but if you have been teaching for 10 years, you might want to look for what you have. Okay, in 2012, for example, what you teach in 2012. Okay, this should be included in your teaching portfolio. All right, so and then my graduate list, students list, and then testimonial. All right, so it is important that, okay, that you have feedbacks from your student. Okay, meaning that each of your class, each of your class, I always do like this. During my class, at the end of my class, when I teach a subject, okay, a course, at the end of my class every week, I would ask my students question about how I did, okay, what I do in the class, whether it is relevant, what do they think about that particular class, okay, and then what can I improve from what the activity in the class and so on. All right, it is important for you to have feedbacks from your students. All right, so each can be included in your portfolio. You can see that this I put in I just ask the students to do in Padlet, then I put in my portfolio. It is okay, all right. And then this is from EDD student, Doctor of Education students, and then from the PPG students, and then from my colleague, all right. This is from Prof Fong. Yeah, Prof Fong was in is now in UMS. Yeah, all right. He used to be in USM. All right. This is from my colleague, and so on. All right. So this is leadership for teaching, okay? And then my continuous professional development, and then all whatever I have, I selected, yeah? These are, for example, from my Padlet, and then I just do some like my maps for that, all right? And then this is the proof that the activity have been done in my class. And then my scholarship for teaching. So latihan, any trainings that I have conducted lah. I've been conducting many trainings for all universities in Malaysia. Okay, so these are from the trainings. Okay, so this is an overview of a portfolio. Let me just go back to the slide here. Okay, so as I have shown you my portfolio, so now you have the idea of what is actually a portfolio all about. All right, so and then it involved the process of selecting. Yeah, remember, you know, when I did my portfolio, I have to look for evidences. Okay, I have to select, I have to do something, and then the most important thing is I need to do reflection. All right. What is the purpose of the reflection? It is to improve one's teaching, our teaching. Okay. We as educators in the university, we are not, we are not supposed to teach similarly each of the semester. Every semester we need to change how and what we teach in every semester. Okay, our teaching methods, our teaching strategy needs to be improved. Okay, but sometimes, okay, we can see that if you can reflect back to when you were a student, can you remember a lecturer who are teaching the same throughout the semester? Okay, he or she can come to your class, and then they will ask you to do this, all right, and then they do the same all over the semester. And if you are taking the same another course from the same lecturer, they are using the same teaching methods all over, okay, when they are teaching. So we as educators need to remember that we need to improve our teaching strategies and teaching methods. That's why we are doing a teaching portfolio, so that we can reflect back. Last week, I'm doing this particular strategy. Okay, we are doing online class, for example. So we were using WebEx. Okay, and during the WebEx, we are giving the student a breakout room so that maybe they can discuss. Okay, but okay, maybe something goes wrong. Okay, one of the group, they cannot produce the outcomes that we would like them to achieve. Okay, what happened? All right, so that should be a reflection from us. Okay, we should reflect what happened. Why one of the group, they cannot achieve the outcomes? What problems that they encounter during the class, and then what how do we as educator, as their teacher, as their lecturer struggle during the breakout room? We need to go from one breakout room to the other. So what happened? All right. So, and then did you ask your students for feedback? Okay, what were their problems during that particular session? So all this process can be included in your portfolio. It is a reflection, meaning that when we go back to my first question earlier, your what was your greatest achievement? Okay, in life or in academic life, in a portfolio, you might want to highlight your achievement, but you might also want to highlight your failure or your challenges. Okay, it is important. So we as a normal human being, okay, we don't actually, achieve everything that we want. We have a lot of obstacles in the process of learning something. All the obstacles can be included in your teaching portfolio. But some might say, if let's say I put the struggle in my portfolio, people might think that I'm now good. All right, I'm not a good academics. I think, the most important thing that it shows your learning. How do you solve your problem? How do you try to get a solution to whatever you encounter during your teaching and learning process? So the process of selecting and organizing material is very important, and the reflection is much more important in your portfolio. All right, so let's say I think, it is better for you to develop your portfolio online. Okay, so as I have my www.azidahaz.com just now, it becomes my portfolio informally, but you might want to start with an online portfolio. All right, you can start with using Google Site, for example. All right, so that you can start step by step. Okay, step by step, and then you can easily share your whatever your professional development as an academics in that particular website. Okay, for example, using Google Site, or you can use Weebly and so on, or you can use blog. Okay, and for your information, my azidahaz.com, this is actually a blogspot.com, azidahaz.blogspot.com. Then I just buy the domain azidahaz. This one, it is only 50 ringgit per year. So every year I just, I not every year, I renew my domain once in the 3 years time. Okay, so it is easy for me to update and so on lah. Okay, so you can do it according to your preferences. If for me now, I think where is it? Okay, this is Google Site. So for me now, Google Site is quite a very comprehensive website. Then it is easy for you to develop your online teaching portfolio here. All right, so you just create a blank site. If you haven't tried it yet, just put your page. title and so on. Okay, you can add a text box, you can embed anything, all right? Then you can click and then you can insert. All right, really easy. Okay, you can explore this later, but this is one of the way for you to actually start with your teaching portfolio. All right, using Google Site. Then when you have, for example, you start with a Google Site, just I mentioned just now. So you can update it as much as you can, all right, easily, because it is stored in your Google account. So you can develop, and then you can see your teaching process, your learning process as a teacher, as a lecturer, and then it is ongoing. Okay, when you start with your first day in UNIMAS. So how do you develop for 1 year, for example? Okay, next semester. Okay, for example, last semester, if you have been teaching 2 years, if you enroll as an academics in UNIMAS in 2020, whereby you haven't got a chance to teach face-to-face, you start with online teaching. Then in April, when the semester start, UNIMAS will be getting students face to face. So you might want to document that. Okay, when I was teaching online, how did I do that? And when I am teaching face to face, how I'm going to do that based on my online teaching? What problems did I encounter? So, you can see the development over time, and then you can reflect, okay, what will go wrong here when I do the face-to-face teaching later. Okay, I've never stand in front of a class before, so what should I do? Okay, what can I plan for my next class? So you can put this in your portfolio, all right? Because we as lecturers, we don't have like, a teacher, they have this lesson plan. Before they go in class, they have to plan their lesson. What is the introduction set? What is the content they are going to deliver? What activities that they are going to do in the classroom? And then they need to have a closure while they were teaching. But compared to us as an educators, we don't have to do that. We can actually plan in our headphone. All right. Usually when we would like to go to class, our main concern was our PowerPoint. We have not prepared our PowerPoint. So let us think of something else. I don't want to prepare a PowerPoint to my class today, but how do I make it differently? So you can put it in your portfolio. I plan to do this, this, and this. Okay, let's see. When I apply this into my class, what happened? Then after that, okay, during the class, you can take photo, you can record whatever conversation with your students. And then because it is online, it is easier for you to capture with video or with audio or whatever. Okay, and then you can put it immediately in your portfolio. Compared to hard copies portfolio, it is hard. Okay, like my one, it was because I sent a hard copy to the Ministry of Higher Education. So it is in PDF file. So it is very interactive. Okay. But if you do it in your Google site, it will be much more interactive. Or if you use Weebly and so on, or Wix. All right. And then you will have evidence for your whole entire teaching career. Okay. In contrast to what are called course portfolio that capture evidence related to a single course. Course portfolio or course file that we do for MQA audit is only a course file. It is only about the course that we are teaching. But a portfolio, a teaching portfolio is more towards what we do and who are we as a teacher. All right. So why do your teaching portfolio online? So it is a media-rich teaching portfolio. Remember I mentioned just now, If you do activities in your class, you can take a photo, you can do videos, you can interview your student, they can give reflection to you using podcast, using Flipgrid, and you can embed it in your portfolio. All right, so it will show people that you are a very innovative, or you do intervention in your classroom. Okay, so if let's say you would like to enhance your teaching and learning, or you would like to network with somebody outside Malaysia, you can go and show them your portfolio. Okay, and then it will show how you grow, and then people will be interested to know, okay, how you deal with the teaching and learning process. This is important, yeah, because sometimes we don't really aware of that. We might not have been thinking at all on what is our journey as educator. We just do it because it is our job, okay, and then maybe you are a very passionate educator, but you never think of that. You never think of how the reflection can help you to improve your teaching. All right. And then when you do it online, for example, in Google Site, it will be easy to organize, and then it will be easier for you to collect evidences. All right. So for example, here in Google Site, this one, all right. The features in Google Site is good because you can see that you can embed YouTube. You can also embed from whatever website, okay. And then you can also add something from, where is it? Google Slide, for example. Okay, if you have Google Drive, you have Google Drive, then let's say you upload your slide in Google Slide, you can immediately click and then you add that to, okay, so for example, in my Google Slide, I have so many slide here, okay, that I uploaded in my Google Slide. So if I would like to put it, let me just put teaching portfolio, okay, portfolio here, and then for example, I would like to add this in my teaching portfolio. I just click one, and then click insert. Then for example, this is whatever slide that you use in your teaching, and then you can put it here, all right, immediately. Then you can add text box, okay, normal text, okay, you can write about this particular class slide. This is the slide that I use in my training. Okay, so you can see that, all right, it is easy. So whatever you have in your Google Drive can be embedded. So whatever you have, for example, even a document, all right, you have documents that you would like to add, all right, you can add it immediately. Just click and then insert. Okay, and then you can give title and so on, but just by using text box. So you can rearrange, okay, and then you can put pages in here. So this is the first page, as you can see in my this one. Okay, I have a few tabs. I have home, I have introduction. Under introduction, you have learning theories and so on, and then developing your portfolio, you will have student activity and so on. So I think it is easier if you like to use Google Site, okay, Google Site for your online teaching portfolio. Okay, if you don't publish it and give the link to somebody else, it is still work in progress. So don't worry about people having to look at that before you publish. All right, so if you publish but you don't give that particular access or link URL to anybody else, it is still cannot be searched by others lah. So don't worry about that. You can actually collect whatever you have and put it in a Google site. for your own view and for your own design. All right, so yes, you can start with that. And then it is easy to organize. So if you include pages in your Google site, you will be able to organize, collect, and then just put it, okay, put in your Google Drive, and then put a folder in your Google Drive titled Teaching Portfolio, and then you put everything, your photos, okay. When I was when we did our face-to-face in 2000, face-to-face class in 2019, I do a lot of selfies lah with my students, okay. Whatever activity, whatever, because I teach ICT in education. So the course is about technology, but unfortunately, I have so many students in my class. It was like almost like 200 per class. So meaning that when I have so many students in my class, I have to do, usually in ICT in education, they have to go to computer lab, yeah, to do all the activities. But because there are too many students in my class, I can't afford to have, like, you know, everybody, so many sections, so many slots for my tutorial class. If like 200 students, and in the computer lab we have only 30 place, so imagine how many classes that I should have for tutorial. So I can't afford that. So what I did was I just do innovation in my lecture hall. So all the students, 200 students, come to a big lecture hall, and whatever hands-on activity were done in the lecture hall, tutorial also done in the lecture hall. Okay, so it was effective. And then, but I need to actually take photos, do some video recordings, because it will be the evidences lah. Okay, the videos and so on will be the evidences, and I put in the teaching portfolio, because sometimes you can actually show this teaching portfolio to your superior, your dekan, your deans, your deputy deans and so on, to show that you have conducted the class and this is the evidence. But I don't need to have, you know, sometimes when they arrange for tutorial, they ask Dr. Azidah, how many tutorial slots do you want in your in the lab? Okay, lab B, for example. I say, it's okay, I don't need that. So they will query, why you don't need that? Because you should need that because you are doing a tutorial for computer. Then I said, no, I'm doing something different in my class. Student has to do to bring their computer or their handphones and so on. But sometimes they do query and I need to give evidence. So the video session should be good. All right, no need to record all your classroom, just some evidences that you put into your teaching portfolio. It will be very beneficial to others lah. Okay, and then highlighting your persona. All right, in your portfolio, you need to highlight your persona, your personal self. Okay, how are you different from others? Okay, how do you make students like you so much and understand your course? You know, you can see that, you know, as you can remember, yeah, when you were in the university doing your degree, doing your masters, for example, okay, you might have a lecturer who you still can remember until now. Okay, you still remember how they teach, how they move, even how they speak in your classroom. So they might have this persona that can engage you. So your teaching portfolio, your online teaching portfolio should also shows that. Okay, that's why just now I have that my image with all the apps in the slide. So I hope that when people see that particular slide, it represent me, okay, and what I do. All right, and people will say, okay, Dr. Azidah, okay, kalau Dr. Azidah ni, kalau pasal teknologi, you can ask her. all right, she can answer your questions. Okay, or if let's say you are teaching something else, okay, then people will know this lecturer, if you want to ask something, you can ask her or him, because you can see in her teaching portfolio, you can see how she approached students. Actually, you know, I think in starting in 2013, yeah, I have my online. I don't have my portfolio, but I do have my website, azidahaz.com. I started in 2013, and I put all the materials, all students' work, and so on in that particular website. So from that website, I did not promote much of my website, but it grows by itself. I think in 2014, I suddenly got a call from a company, whereby they asked me, can you do a training for our staff? Okay, we have 60 staff, okay, that need trainings, and we need people like you to actually train our staff in terms of this, and this. All right, and then we will pay you, okay, 4,000 for each session. All right, so I got like 8,000 at that time, 2014. I got around 8,000 for 2 sessions, and masa tu memang sangat banyak lah kan, dapat 8,000. And then it was from my portfolio. All right, not portfolio, but from my website. But in my website, I include what I am capable of, okay, doing in my area. Okay, so that is highlighting your persona. So you can demonstrate what you have prior or experiential learning, and you can show it to the world. And using online, you know, you can get to know people outside outside Malaysia, and then you can actually be known by them. Okay, and then you can collaborate, and you can do networking. Okay, so for example, next week I am the deputy director of Majlis E-Pembelajaran Malaysia. So it was easy for me to get Ketis J. Bong. Okay, Ketis J. Bong, he was a very renowned researcher, in the area of online learning and so on. So when I approached him, and then he said, okay, I already see your website. I think it is good, you know, it is excellent. So yes, I do agree to share with you all about what I did in my research. Okay, so you know, it will be easier for you to approach people when you have an online teaching portfolio. Okay, and you might not be a scammer if you have a teaching portfolio, because scammer, they don't have time to actually develop a teaching portfolio to reflect and so on. Okay, but when you show your growth in your teaching portfolio, it will actually help you to highlight yourself, your persona. All right, so when you update your teaching portfolio regularly, you are sharing your learning experience. Okay, although you are a teacher, although you are a lecturer, but you are going to share with people your learning experience as a teacher, as a lecturer, through the process with evidence. Okay, so itulah saya cakap tadi, if scammer, they cannot do this because they don't have the photo. All right, they don't have the photo, a very comprehensive photos of themselves. They don't know, they cannot design a story where they learn, where they reflect, and so on. So evidence and the process is really important. And it must be more than a collection of test result, journal entries, homework, graph of students' performance, or the product of student. All right, so meaning that it can be more than that. All right, so you can put your test result, your evaluation, your rubric, your journal entries, your homework, but it can be more than that. And then it is also can show people your learning record. That's why you don't put only your achievement, but you can put all the challenges, all right, and then provide evidence of achievement. Yeah. If let's say you would like to go back down the lane of your SPM. Okay, contoh SPM, Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia. Alright, during your SPM, you might not be an excellent student like me. Okay, during my SPM, I was not an excellent student. Dapat cukup-cukup makan je. Alright, and you know, but my parents were like, okay, we expected more than you, but you get only this. Okay, it was a 3-hour session under a garage in front of my house because of my failure to get what I was supposed to get. So you can start with that. From what I have learned during my failure during in my SPM, I am, you know, I go through various paths. I try this, I try that, and then at the end, I found this is relevant to what I would like to do. Okay. However, whatever you decide to include in your teaching portfolio should be systematic. Okay, should be systematic. So if it is from SPM or it is from your degree, for example, you need to start from that particular time towards now. Okay, so it is a process. You don't just put, you know, sekejap kat sini, then it is not systematic. All right, and evidence also need to be organized. All right, so it can be used to measure your growth of knowledge, your skills. Okay, how do your mindsets change? All right. For example, before COVID-19, you might not know how to do online teaching. You might haven't tried. You didn't try at all how to do online teaching. But after COVID-19, 2020, you have used WebEx. You haven't known what is WebEx before, what is Zoom before. Okay, and last time before COVID-19, when they invited me, when people invite me to training, I have to travel. Okay, I've been to UNIMAS doing training. I have to been to UMS doing training. Okay, that was before 2020, but now it is easier. You can do webinar online. Don't have to travel. I can sit in USM. Okay, I can do whatever work. I don't have to waste time waiting for the flight. So, but still it must be systematic, and then you must show people, when I did the face-to-face, I do like this, and then during online, I do like this. How it changed my mindset as educators. Am I comfortable doing it? Okay, so for me, for example, although I like sitting in my, it is quite convenient lah. Even now, tomorrow I have been invited to UUM. Universiti Utara Malaysia is just like 1.5 hours from Penang, 2 hours lah, 2 hours from Penang. So they invited me to go there face to face for tomorrow. That I said, can I do it online? Because I think I can do it online. I'm not comfortable traveling now. Still not comfortable traveling. So and I think it can be conducted online, and it can be conducted effectively still. Okay. So yeah. So meaning that I can put that in my portfolio as well. My preferences. I prefer to do webinar online. Okay, but sometimes I do, it depends. Sometimes I travel as well because there is a need for me to travel to do the training face to face. So, the change of mindsets also need to be highlighted in your portfolio. All right. Why develop your teaching portfolio? So, I have actually highlighted this. Okay, self-reflection, improvement. All right. So if you have your portfolio, until now, 1.5 hour, I'm here with you all, you still thinking, why should I develop my online teaching portfolio? All right. The most important thing is self-reflection. Okay, and then you can also collect whatever you have. Jangan nanti bila nak naik pangkat, for example, in USM we have teaching track. Now we have teaching track, but only from the S51 to the S54. There is a teaching track that academics, lecturers can apply, okay, but only for 51 to 54 lah. So they have to produce a portfolio, teaching portfolio, and then they have to send it to the HR lah. So if you are planning to go on teaching track, it can be your first effort, okay, in collecting what you have as an academics, and then when the advertisement come out, okay, apply for promotion using teaching track, you can use that. Another another track in USM, we have also leadership track. Leadership track also we need teaching portfolio. All right, and sorry, not teaching portfolio, but a portfolio. You can call it academic portfolio. All right, so what you do in your leadership, you know, what you capture, what you have done as a leader in your institution. Okay, so that is leadership track. Okay, the only track, okay, in USM that does not use portfolio is the normal research track lah. Memang tak guna lah. We just use the normal form and then provide evidence. But for teaching track and leadership track, portfolio need to be sent for for decision making lah on kenaikan pangkat. On as one of the panel of kenaikan pangkat, I also have to review all the portfolio lah, and it takes time, but it is interesting to read people's portfolio. We can actually imagine when, you know, a penilai, an assessor who look at people's portfolio, when you read the portfolio, when you see the portfolio, you know, it can bring us to what the person are doing. All right, so you can do that lah for your portfolio. And then it is a documentation on how your teaching has evolved. And then these are a tangible artifact. You can see that my portfolio is my tangible artifact. Okay, I always look at that and I think of, I would like to update this. I need to put this and this. I have grown so much since my first portfolio. All right, I have done so many things that I did not expect I do for my portfolio. All right, but I have done that, and then, you know, maybe when we are old, we can have a look and see, okay, masa tu dah tak ingat kan, so we can have a look lah on what we have done throughout our academic life. So if let's say you would like to find a job, look for jobs overseas. All right, sekarang ni for me, I think when I've been working so much for USM, dah kerja lama dah, and then so many things to do, I was thinking, I would like to go overseas to find a job, for example lah, yeah. And then I have my portfolio that can be sent. Okay, the link can be sent to people outside there and they can see what I have done. All right, so but if let's say you have that in mind, please, you need to do your portfolio in English lah. Okay, but if your aim is different, then you can do the portfolio in Bahasa Melayu. So my portfolio that I showed just now was in Malay because the purpose of doing that portfolio, my first website www.azidah.com, it is in Malay. So when I first did that particular website, the purpose was I would like to share technology, educational technology with teachers, okay, especially primary school teachers. Their English was not that good, so I try to translate, you know, all the resources and so on, all the how to use technology. So that's why my website, I decided to make it in Malay, right? And then it leads to my AAN portfolio in Malay as well, because it comes actually from that particular website. So if you have, you know, the world, okay, if you have the world in your mind, then you might want to use English as the main, as the language in your portfolio, all right? There's no right or wrong, it's up to you. If let's say you are looking at native people in Sarawak, for example, then you might want to choose a local, maybe a section for local slang or whatever. Okay, you can do that. It is your portfolio, all right? So just a refresh on how to start your portfolio, all right? So I think the most challenging aspect, yeah, I think it is also for me as well at the moment, is to keeping it up to date. Okay, you might have done it, all right, and then with the academic life, with the busy academic life, you um you might, you know, have challenges to update that. Okay, so but when you do it online, all right, you can make a reminder to yourself, you need to upload, because you need to update, because it will be your assets, okay, your professional assets to you as teachers or as educators, all right, and then it actually serve multiple purposes and audiences, meaning that, for example, if you would like to go for promotion, you can use that portfolio. If you would like to go and network with people outside Malaysia, you can use that portfolio. If you would like to enhance your skill in trainings, then you can use that particular portfolio. All right. If you know, people would like to know about you, or you would like to highlight yourself to somebody else, also you can use your portfolio. So it cater multiple purposes. All right. And then the portfolio will represent clear evidence lah that you are actively engaged in your community of practice. So people will know, okay, you are doing this, okay, and how you grow, and then you are actively engaged. So that's why you need to update your portfolio regularly, meaning that whatever research that you have done, whatever teaching that you have done, you update. Whatever innovation, whatever small, yeah, however small innovation that you do in your classroom, you can update it. Maybe you think it is small, but people outside there think it is not that small. It is something that could benefit them. All right. And then it can open up to more opportunities, right, that you had not anticipated. I think this is actually what I encounter lah. This is from my experience. I do networking and so on based on my portfolio. Okay, and then it created professional opportunities. You can see, okay, that your professional opportunities will go beyond what you expected. Okay, so this is a general table of content. All right, so must have page in online teaching portfolio, you must have about me page. Okay, about me page with a short welcome paragraph, a brief biography, and a professional picture of you. Okay, actually for me, you can it is good for you to choose a good photo that can show who you are. Okay, not necessarily it is a passport photo. No, now we can do a lot of photo. We can edit, we can crop, and so on, kan? So a professional picture of you. All right, and then your resume. Okay, put your resume that could be a summary of education. All right, something like this. Yeah. Let me just go. to my where is it? No, it is here. All right, something like this. All right, you can use Canva for this. All right, this is actually requested by USM last time. All right, so I just put it here. So you can put a very professional resume. You can go to Canva. There are a lot of infographics or resume template that you can use, because I use this one because I need to put so many things in here, and when I look at my resume, I just suddenly realized, okay, I forgotten to put this, I forgotten to put that, you know, I need to put this. So there are so many things that you might want to put in your portfolio, but you forgotten because you did not organize it like me, okay, from the beginning. So now I am just like, okay, I've forgotten to put this because I'm now the deputy, the TNCAA already just had appointed me a while ago as the deputy chair for the TNCAA ESCO, but I forgotten to put that here. All right. So it is a very important point that I have forgotten, and that should highlight me where I am in USM at the moment, but I forgotten. All right. So that's why it is important for us to just put, update whatever we have in our portfolio. All right. Okay, and then your resume, and then your teaching philosophy. All right, remember in my last webinar session, I did include how to write your teaching philosophy, but for this webinar I did not plan, but you can actually look here. This is the learning theory for you to refer for your, if you would like to write your teaching philosophy. Okay, and if you go there, here under introduction, yeah, down here, okay, this is samples from Universiti Malaya that I did last week, not last week. Yeah, last week, I think. All right, so you can see that how people, because in this particular training, they give me the name of the participants earlier. So I did this so that, you know, they can upload their photo beforehand, and then they can write their teaching philosophy based on what I have, so for example, like this, Dr. Nur Hayanti. So this is her, and then this is her teaching philosophy. So teaching philosophy is about what you believe on students' learning. Okay, so what you believe, and then you try in your class to achieve that. Meaning that if you think that students need to be given experience in the class, so whatever activity that you have in your class should reflect that. So you are going to give them experience lah. Okay, for example, if you teach how to ride a bicycle, then you are going to bring bicycles to your class. Okay, and then you are going to put it in your portfolio video on how you teach students on how to ride a bicycle. So that's how teaching philosophy reflect whatever you do in the portfolio. So you can refer, this is a sample from Universiti Malaya. Okay, and then I also have academic portfolio whereby these are the important sections. Yeah, if let's say you would like to use this particular format to start with your teaching portfolio, you can start with about me, all right, and then your teaching philosophy, and then your teaching strategies and methods, and your innovation in teaching and learning, and what you have for awards and recognition, your research publication if you want, all right, your community involvement if you want, because if you are developing your academic portfolio. But if you are developing your only teaching portfolio, so you might not want to put this. It's up to you. Okay, it is your portfolio. Okay, and you can actually put that. All right, for those who are new to academic world, this is the time for you to start with your academic teaching portfolio, because for example, I put here leadership. You can even, in our faculty, in our school, we have every year we have our Teachers' Day. Okay, it is a very small event that we celebrate together in our faculty to appreciate us, ourselves as teachers, yeah. But we did this Teachers' Day on November, not May. Okay, it is not similar to the Teachers' Day, because in May usually we don't have students. Okay, so then we did our Teachers' Day on November. So for new, usually, the Teachers' Day chair, okay, chairperson for the Teachers' Day committee is a new lecturer. We appoint new lecturers so that they have the experience in organizing something. Okay, so that can be considered as leadership, your first leadership in a university. Okay, then you can write your experience, as a new lecturer. Then you are appointed as a chairperson for Teachers' Day. It is a story that you need to highlight. Maybe you were struggling, you don't know many people in your department, you don't know what are the process of getting this, to get to borrow a multimedia projector or whatever, okay, and then to get people, technician, to stand by during the Teachers' Day. So that experience you can put in your portfolio and highlight it. That was your first leadership, and then people can see how you grow from a simple, a small task as a chairperson of a Teachers' Day. Then you grow to be a chairperson in your faculty, okay, course coordinator, program coordinator, and then you might be a dean. Okay, then you can see the growth of your portfolio. All right. Okay, we have another 10 minutes. Then another must-have page in online teaching portfolio is sample annotated lesson plan. Okay, so avoid posting links to your PDF version to your favorite lesson plan, ya. So jangan letak, ya, please avoid letak PDF version. Instead, write a short paragraph explaining some of your favorite and most successful classroom activity. Okay, mungkin you just put a screenshot of your lesson plan, and then include what activities, okay, include student feedback is possible, and then pictures, screenshot, and whatever, a link to the lesson plan. Okay, a link, only a link. You don't have to put PDF version, that might not, it would be very small for people to look at, and then, a very detailed one, you don't need to put a very detailed one in your portfolio. And then for the materials you created yourself, okay, you might want to add Creative Commons license, okay, at the bottom, or because this shows that you are aware that the copyright, how to copyright your material, or you are also aware that that if you use other people's materials, you need to have Creative Commons license. You need to check the copyright. It is important, yeah. Because when people see that you put a Creative Commons license, they might consider, oh, this person is an ethical person. Okay, ada ethical person di situlah. Okay, and then links to your social media profile. Okay, Twitter or LinkedIn. All right, for example, but not Facebook. Okay, remember, ya, kita ni dah tua-tua, we like Facebook so much, but in your portfolio, okay, you put your Twitter, because in Twitter we have some professional people that we follow and so on. We can share about our publication, we can share with people, and LinkedIn is well recommended, LinkedIn. okay, because there are a lot of professional people in there, but don't use Facebook unless your profile is strictly professional, okay, meaning that you are going to share whatever activity, professional activity in Facebook. You don't have your mom, your dad, or your mak mentua, pak mentua in your Facebook. You have only your colleague, your students, and then your networking in your Facebook should be okay. Because sometimes, Facebook, whatever you do, sometimes you share recipe and so on, that is not relevant to what you are doing. So please don't link Facebook lah unless it is a very professional one. Okay. And then other pages that you may include, all right, contact page listing, your email address, okay, so that they can contact you, all right. Actually, when I was contacted in 2014, I had actually put a mistake on that because I put my phone number, okay. But after I received the phone number, then I consider back, okay, I might as well not put my phone number, but I better put my email. Okay, I better put my email because sometimes the if you give your phone number, there will be scammers and so on. All right, and then put the feedbacks just like I showed just now, from peers, parents, students, whatever. Okay, and then from quotes from their letters or emails to you. Okay, maybe they send letter, maybe they send cards for your birthday cards, whatever. And even I keep on, sometimes students send me a bunch of flowers, for example. Then I just take photo of that and put it in my portfolio. And then an instructional technology page. All right. Although your web-based portfolio, your online portfolio will serve as evidence of your technical skill, but you might want to add a page to showcase your technology-based project, okay, that you have implemented in your classes. For example, this online teaching and learning, all right, so you might want to add your skill on using WebEx. Okay, I just realized that I have updated my WebEx a few days ago, and then there are so many new features in WebEx, almost like Teams, but it is much more user friendly compared to Microsoft Teams. So that is something new that you might use in your class, and then you can put it in your portfolio. Although you are not instructional technologists like me, I am an instructional technology, so that is my area, but you might be teach something else, so you might want to showcase your technology skill. All right, and then a page of extracurricular activities such as taking student abroad, okay, or leading a chess club. So whatever you do, okay, and here in USM, in my faculty, we have the students club. All right, maybe you are the advisor for that club and so on, maybe something like that. And then a blog page. All right, a blog page on what you have learned. Okay. So, and then what to leave out. All right, what to leave out before I finish my session. Your portfolio is your 21st century digital business card. Okay, although for whatever purposes, you need to best present your coherent picture of your professional self. Okay, it shows how professional you are. Okay, and you might want to leave out. Okay, this is a suggestion, but if you think it is a relevant, your hobbies or whatever is relevant to your professional practice, you can put it. But if it is irrelevant, okay, and then or personal information pertaining your hobbies or families, okay, contohnya your son goes to university, whatever, or you go berjalan-jalan, you go for whatever, so please leave out. Okay, please shows your personal, professional, okay, growth in your portfolio. Leave out anything that is not relevant. Okay. Remember, okay, it is an academic portfolio, a teaching portfolio is a dynamic document. All right, it is a dynamic document and then it must be updated continuously. All right, so it becomes a lifetime record for you as an academic. So it will help you to remember what you have done, what you have gone through, what you have learned, okay, and reflect. And then maybe after you retired, okay, it will be your record of what you have achieved in your academic lives. Okay, so these are the tips, yeah, on building your teaching portfolio. Go and look at other educators' portfolio. Okay, for example, yeah, my boss, Prof. Karim, he has, he has his blog, he has his portfolio, he has so many things. You can have a look at his one, just Google Prof. Karim, and then you will be able to see there are so many things about him. Okay, and then you can compare and decide what you would like to put in your portfolio. And then a portfolio is more than resume, yeah, more than resume. Keep it clean and simple. Don't put too many things, but it can, immediately show people what you have, who are you, and what you do. Always include your teaching philosophy. Show, but don't tell. Okay, meaning that don't tell people about this, but you need to show what you have done and narrate that. Okay. And then format is matter. So jangan, if you see my portfolio just now, format matters. All right, meaning that, consistent throughout your portfolio, and then include testimonials and recommendation, showcase your growth. All right, and keep your portfolio current and complete. Okay, my portfolio just now is not current, not complete. And then create a personal portfolio website. So as I mentioned just now, you can start with Google Site. It is easy, although you are not a technical people, you will be able to actually do that. All right, meaning that you just drag and drop. You can explore, and then you can go to YouTube and look at how to develop your own portfolio. Here in USM, we have Mahara. We are using Mahara. Yeah, that is a plugin in our e-learning at USM. So our lecturers are using Mahara since the beginning of their enrollment, their registration as USM academic. So what to do next? Your portfolio. All right. So please collect, please select, and then you reflect, and then you are going to share with others. All right. So with that, I think that's it for today. Thank you for having me here. Any question from the attendee? Semua senyap je hari ni. Okay, back to you, ya, Dr. Dayang.
Okay, so I have one question, Prof. How often do we need to update our teaching portfolio? Is it every semester or every free time, something like that?
Every free time.
Every free time.
Yeah, because you might forgotten what you have done in the semester. All right. So when you have free time, please do update, and please keep in mind that, if you have any evidence, keep it first. If you don't have time, put it somewhere. Put a folder in your Google Drive or in your computer, in your desktop, and then name it a portfolio. And then whatever you have, maybe inside the folder you have another folder. This is for class activity. This is for academic recognition. This is for training. This is for what? So different folders. Then you just can put the evidence in the folder lah. So then when you have time, you can update. Right, but easier if you do it online lah, because then you can, when you have time, you can just upload it in the whatever website you are using.
Yeah, and about the Facebook, Prof, normally people nowadays they update their activities in the Facebook. Is it okay for them to just take some comment from the student from the Facebook and then put inside the profile?
Yes, you can do
But not
that.
everything.
but not everything. For example, can I just share one Facebook that I screenshot here. All right. This is from my Facebook, yeah. So this is my student, Aaron. So Aaron was my student lah, was my student. So he got the certificate from KDU Penang. He is a lecturer in KDU. All right. So, but he put a caption, "Thank you, Azidah Abu Ziden," in Facebook, yeah. And then your inspiration, innovativeness are the motivation of my achievement. Although this is in Facebook, all right, I screenshot and I can put it in my portfolio because it is relevant to my context, right? Although I did not get this particular certificate, but Aaron yang dapat. But at the end, he recognized me, he mentioned me. So this is meaning that he approved me as the person who actually inspire him to be innovative in his class. So you can choose whatever caption or whatever activity. Even your student take photo selfie with you and then say, okay, this is my favorite lecturer. Okay, then you can use that and then put it in your portfolio.
Okay, Prof. In good information from Prof sharing the session. Okay, and then I would like to open. Anybody want to ask something before we end our session today? So, okay, so sometimes it's difficult for them to start over with the teaching profile, Prof, because normally we just put everything inside the file and then we will forgot what we achieved towards the year. So kalau terpaksa baru buat kot rasanya.
Yes, yeah, but I think it is a good start if you try to develop your portfolio as early as possible. I faced that, and then I know that it is better. But in USM, actually, it is compulsory for our new lecturers to have a portfolio in Mahara. Then that is apa orang kata, it is a must. It is a must for their confirmation for their service. So then they after that they know, okay, I have done this and then I need to update later on.
Okay, I think that's all, Prof, for today. Okay, so thank you for the insightful and the informative sharing from Prof Azidah. Now,
There is a question there. What is the best
yes.
platform to compile your work? All right, from Alja. Okay, I suggested you use the Google site. Okay, Google site, because if you put it in Google site, when it is still in draft, people cannot access. Okay, you can still amend and so on. So you can put all your things, put into pages and so on, organize. Okay, then when you need that, you can publish lah. If you don't need, then you don't publish. So try Google site. All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to conclude our workshop for today. So we hope that you all found this sharing valuable for you to develop your own teaching portfolio. Okay, and then we hope that you'll be getting some inspirations to update your online teaching and learning in your portfolio. So thank you very much for your time and the participation in this workshop. Thank you, Prof, and Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you all.